Hey yo, what's up, Facebook? It's been a minute since my last live, and I have a confession because I have been actually deep in my own world and and really working on myself to really grow and develop as I head into 2019 with a fresh new page for a fresh new year. And it was going on, Victor. And I usually tend to take some time. Hey, I usually take the whoop. I usually tend to take some time towards uh, Christmas and New Year's time to sort of like slow down everything for a minute and just really go inside myself and search for what I've accomplished throughout the year and what I'm looking to accomplish for the next year. And hi, Andrea, good to have you. And what has come to my attention as of late is that actually because this is a habit that's kind of recent, it's not like I've done it for like all my life. I think I've started to do it about 3 or 4 years ago. And what I'm realizing is that year by year, uh, I do set things in motion at the end of that year, and I set something in motion at the beginning of the year. And funny enough, throughout the year, I always come across something that completely shifts something in my world. To give you an example, for example, about 3 years ago, I joined a Korean Young Entrepreneurs Korean Business Network here in New York, and I actually, uh, by as fate would have it, I was nominated the class ambassador. So I led that class that year, for a full year as a proud representative of that group. And my leadership role continued for a few more years. That was one example. The other one is that I joined a business in the health and wellness industry, and I rose pretty quickly through the ranks, and I established myself as in a leadership position there as well. And what I'm saying here is I'm not saying these things to impress you, but to impress upon you the fact that it is not that I am doing anything that you guys can do. It is not that I'm doing something that is extraordinary. It is actually the accumulation of certain things that I have in my mind. And when I allow myself to let those things happen for me is when major shifts in my life happen. For example, this year, I went ahead and took a course, a certification course to become a high ticket closer, which is like the epitome of what you can call sales, right? And mind you, without sales, nothing happens. Nothing in the world moves without a sale happening. Whatever that sale is, one person has to have his ideas accepted by a counterpart for transactions to happen, for communication to go back and forth between parties. Anyway, and after that, it's like as I completed that course, my life completely started to shift majorly. It was like one humongous tectonic plate shift after another, and it allowed me to finally get real with myself, quit my job, which wasn't fulfilling me at all, and get in touch with things that really speak to who I am and what I want to be and what I want to accomplish. Once again, it is not that I did anything out of the ordinary. Matter of fact, let me tell you this. Yeah, you know what? I did something extraordinary. And you know what that is? That extraordinary power, each and every single one of us has it. And what I mean with that extraordinary power is that we have the ability to use this that we have here, up here, to be more focused and organized. And there are certain tools, there are certain techniques, if you may call it, that you can use and put in place to make those ideas clear and focused for yourself. And you know what the funny thing is? It's not for everyone. Because like I asked on the title of this live, when you ask people, what do you really want? Most of the times, actually 99.9% of the times, the answers that you get are people telling you what they do not want. Right? You ask them, hey, what do you want? They say, well, I don't want to have a job. I want to not have to commute. I don't want to I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that, and so on and so forth. And then you have to tell them, hey, stop. I didn't ask you what you don't want. I asked you what you do want, what you really want. And people are like, I don't know. I don't know what I want, right? And I'm like, what happened to us? What happened to us as human beings who all we can do is dream and imagine crazy things and have fantasies and make them reality? What happened to us that all that got pressed down? You know what I mean? It's like, we have an amazing imagination, and listen to this, guys. Without imagination, human powered flight would not be possible, right? Two bicycle mechanics imagined that they were going to fly, and they made it happen while everyone around them was telling them that it was not possible. But their imagination, backed with conviction and action, massive action. I heard stories that they used to take like 5 sets of spare parts, and they would go crash every day because they knew they were going to crash until one day they were going to take off. And guess what happened? Again and again, they kept on crashing, right? 5 sets, go home, retool the next day, work in the mechanic shop all day, right? Go back, 5 sets, boom, crash, go back home. And one day something clicked and they started to fly, right? Without imagination, there will be no microwave. Without imagination, there will be no cars. And this is what I'm saying. The point that I'm driving is imagination, fantasies. They're not just crazy things that just live in our heads, and we are crazy for expressing them. Imagine this. Without imagination, there will be no internet. There will be no smartphone that would have me be here with you all sharing my thoughts. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that absolutely crazy? Somebody imagined something like internet, something that was going to connect the whole world, right? And instantly I will pop my phone open, do a Facebook Live, and everybody at any place in the world that's connected to me is going to be able to see me talking to them live. Absolutely out of the world, out of the imagination, right? Imagine talking about this even 25 years ago. They'll be like, what? You're crazy. That's not possible, right? And look at what we are today. It was all out of imagination. So my question to you all is, what do you really want? Think about that. If you had no limitations of education, no limitation of money, no limitation of anything, right? Any excuse that you're putting in yourself, what do you really want? What would you really want to, how would you really want to be living? What is it that you really want to achieve? And I'm leaving you guys with this question as you go into 2019. And I have an offer to you. I know that when you first start, it's not always easy to think about these things, and it's not always comfortable to express yourself and feel like you're gonna get judged or whatever. If that's the case, sometimes you just need a ear that's gonna listen, right? So go ahead. If you feel courageous enough and you feel like you got what it takes to really get ballsy and really take matters into your life, take the matters of your life into your own hands and start to direct it on your own, go ahead and shoot me a message, and let's have a conversation and see what's really possible for you. I promise you, it's nothing extraordinary, and yet it is, because every single one of us has been endowed with so much power, with more power than we can ever imagine. And it is that power that actually unconsciously keeps our hearts beating, keeps our mind running, keeps our eyes blinking, right? Keeps our lungs expanding and contracting as we breathe, keeps our food being digested and absorbed as food. And that same power, it's running through and through you all the time. It's a matter of you learning a few simple tricks that are going to allow you to channel some of the amazing power towards a directed purpose that's going to empower you beyond your wildest imagination. So if you're excited about what's out there for you in this new coming year, let's talk. And with that, guys, I'll wrap it up with this question once again. What do you really want? Go ahead and share with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Love you all.